I'll be honest. First of all, Kenya, to me, I feel like out of a lot of the countries and Ghana, I will say actually, are the most welcoming. Fact. Where like, no, for real, genuinely, it's true. Where but there's a reason though, right? It's because they know, they're aware, so they understand the history. Like you'll go to certain countries and they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. Slave to whom and why and where and why should I care? And I don't know what you're talking about. I think as Americans, we assume that everyone knows our history and they don't, right? And it's not their fault. Like they weren't taught our history. So while we walk around with this like chip on our shoulder, like this has been terrible and you guys should know that it's been terrible. And I'm here because I no longer, and they're looking at you like, what is that chip? What is that about, right? So that has happened.
They don't know what's going on in America.
They have no idea.
And they don't know the history with Africa.
They have no idea. And then all they see is TV and they see us rolling, right? And they see us ball and they're like, why are you mad? What are you mad about? The first time I came to the continent, I was about 17 and I was in Zimbabwe and I was spending 3 months there and they kept saying, they were like the angry American girl. They didn't even consider me black, and they were like, "She's pissed," right? Like, and it was like such a strange exchange. I was like, "This is so crazy," because I'm nothing but black in America. Nobody cares what you're mixed with. Nobody cares, right? You are black. That's it. So I've been black my whole life, so it didn't make any difference to me till you come out here and they're like, in South Africa or in Zimbabwe, like you're a Goffle, or you're a Mzungu, or you're colored, or you're all these other things, right? Most of the time, it comes from just not knowing and. This is your opportunity to let them know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't walk around with a chip on my shoulder. I am American. I'm very, very profoundly aware of our struggle. But I also understand that, like, their perspective is so different, right? They're like, a lot of times you talk to people and, like, they're on their land. This is like, this is their grandma's land and their grandpa and then their and they've been on this land forever. So they look at you and they're like, yo, what's your beef? Why are Americans so mad? And they have no idea. And then also they look at it like, the same lie that we've been told, like how it's subpar here, they've been told that America is the land of dreams and that we're all living it up and that everybody's just rolling in dough and popping champagne all day. So we've got this massive disconnect about who we actually are, and so you can't really, it's like, we don't know, they don't know. Yeah. Somebody's got to let everybody know, right?
I think that's why it's so important that you're here.
Yeah.
And that we're having this conversation because it sheds light. It changes narrative. Obviously, you've had an amazing music career, but do you feel the magnitude or the importance of what you're now doing in Kenya in terms of business and farming and infrastructure? Do you feel the weight of that, or it's just like, you know what, I'm kind of living in my purpose?
I think both, yeah. Like, I came out here, again, not with some grandiose, like, idea. I started documenting it because every time I went anywhere, I was like shocked. And then I felt dumb. I was like, I've traveled so much. Like, why do I feel so ignorant? Like, this is crazy, right? Like, I've been around the world. Why does this feel so new? And I would be like, film this. I'm like, this is beautiful, or this is amazing, or this is delicious, or look at this lady's outfit, or whatever it was. I would be like, I wanted people to see it. I was in shock and in awe. And I felt like if I was, then the rest of my people didn't know. Right? Like, I'm like, how did I not know this, right? Like, how did I not see this? So I didn't come out here like, I'm going to show everybody, like,
I will lead you.
Yeah, it couldn't be further from that. It was just me trying to figure my own shit out. But once I got here, and then Kenyans specifically love TikTok. So, like, people were coming up to me and they're like, yo, I saw what you're doing on TikTok. I love it. And that's when I started to realize that people were even caring, because I'm a black American, I think in black American terms. So I'm always thinking about my folks back home, right? I'm like, I want to show my people back home what's happening, right? And like, it wasn't until Kenyans and Rwandans and Zambians and people were like, yo, we love what you're doing. Like, I see this is so good. That's when I was like, oh shit, this is like a real thing. I'm like, okay, this is like a responsibility. Like, it didn't hit until it hit,
So from a travel standpoint, I know you've been all over the continent. What's your top 5 places that you've been to and why?
Kenya, obviously. Okay, so Kenya is the metropolis that has everything, right? Literally anything you want to do, families, kids, you want to go out, great cocktails, it's here. Like, beauty and safety and kind of like, just order, Rwanda. Partying and like just acting a fool, Uganda. It's got a great nightlife. Let's see, Zambia and like Zimbabwe for just like natural wonders. You're just like, wow, this is insane, right? You've got like Mosi Otunya, also known as Victoria Falls, which we will not acknowledge that name, but you know, the waterfalls and like you've got, it's just like so amazing. You feel like you're like one with nature at all times, right? Just absolutely stunning. Of course, Ghana.
Wow.
Food. I was getting there,
Whoa,
first of all. Relax your body.
It almost felt...
Relax your body. So Ghana has some of the best food, I would say, on the continent.
I'm with you.
I absolutely feel that way.
In the world.
Yeah, it does. And it also feels, and I will say this, being that I'm like Caribbean also, it feels the closest to home.
Same.
Like
What
nothing there felt like
part
weird
of the
or
Caribbean?
foreign. My family, Puerto Rico and Barbados.
Jamaican.
So for us, the food, I'm like, oh, I eat this. I was like, okay, I do this. I can make this. I got this. This is delicious.
Very similar.
This feels like home. The people also are lively and loving and warm. One of them not so much right now, but the rest of the country is great. I mean, also too, I think being like, you know, I have so many Nigerian and Ghanaian friends that like it also just felt really like home. It felt so like nothing felt foreign or different or like, you know.
What about South Africa?
Okay, so South Africa. Here's the thing. I never pull any punches. I always try to be honest. South Africa, Cape Town specifically, is one of the prettiest places on earth. Fact. It's very white, so that doesn't feel like Africa to me. So the reason why I moved, everyone's like, why did you move to Cape Town? It's tempting. Super tempting. It's super tempting. I'm like, I can just put my money here. But then I'm like, okay, I'm playing myself. So total hypocrisy, right? So, but it's like gorgeous, right? But it's like they always take the best stuff, right? It's like it's just like you got beach, it feels like California in the sense where it's like you could be up in the mountains in snow, you could be on the beach in crystal clear water, you could be at the wineries. Like Cape Town's just stunning. Joburg has a lot of culture and a lot of vibe. It's just not the safest. But like music, when I think about like for me as an artist, like every time I'm there, I'm just like the music is like electric, right? So there's that. Zanzibar is beautiful. I personally now I prefer Diani and Mombasa and like the whole coast of Kenya. Just as far as like safety and cleanliness and like it's the same water, it's the same Indian Ocean, the same beach. But yeah, I mean, I think that was the hardest part about buying land was like every country has something so dope and special to offer, right? Tanzania is robust and lush and it's just like so much greenery everywhere, right? Everybody has something to offer. Yeah. So really you just got to pick a place, just put some money in it.
I mean, when you name the top 5, it's interesting. We met in Kigali last week, and I'm thinking to myself, what is the strategy when you're trying to invest? Is it that I'm looking for the greenery? Am I looking for the education, healthcare? What are the things when you're looking to say, all right, here's why I want to buy land? Because I know you got land in a few countries.
Yeah, I think it's like you got to figure out what your priorities are, right? I mean, for me, like I said, I look at like government. Kenya has a democracy. People speak out against things. Like those are things that I was used to. So when I was thinking about like culture shock and what I was going to be able to like what I want to raise my kids in, that was like a logical choice, right? Education, all the things that we need are here. If you're looking for rural and a little bit less developed, in my opinion, Tanzania is a gold mine. It's absolutely stunning. There are a lot of the diaspora there already in Dar es Salaam. There's like, you look at Zambia, Zambia's more rural. But again, I know Americans that have gone to Zambia to mine. Brilliant. I'm not a miner, but it's brilliant. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that just wasn't what I was going to do, but I get it. So when you look at things like that, like they're coming and they're putting money in. Zambia has tons of copper and all kinds of other stuff, right? So it just depends on what you're into. The easiest countries to buy stuff in, though, is definitely, Rwanda, without a doubt, in the sense that they have a no nonsense policy, right? So you're never going to be taken. Like it's not going to happen. You put your money in, you're going to get what you put your money in for. Kenya, I think it takes a little bit longer, but it's like really straightforward. They're like, these are the things you have to do, and it's like no games.